difficulties here. Okay. All right, day 2. You ready for day 2? Yeah? You look a little bit fresher this morning. Yesterday I lost half of you around the last half hour, didn't I? Some of you were pretty nice about pretending that you can still understand what I'm saying, and I appreciate that. I do, I really do, but I can usually tell if you're just trying to be nice to me now. It's okay. We're going to go through a quick review because I want things to flow to our next topic. So we're not going to go one by one, but for the sake of those who did not make it yesterday, like who? Mary. Good to see you, Mary. Who's Edith? Are you upset, Edith, that Mary made you miss yesterday?
No, it was my fault.
No, I got an email from Mary said she got the wrong dates. She thought the training was August 7th and 8th. It's okay, I still love Mary. It's okay, I'm just playing with you. So I guess that gives Tito a little bit of relief knowing that Mary's here, right? Oh, I didn't. If it looked like I was speaking on Tito, maybe I was. No, Tito and I have known each other for a long time. Since my young accounting clerk, accountant days, I've known Tito. So he said it's cool. It's a total sport. So let's do a quick review of what we did yesterday. I still want to test you for the last half hour that we had, if I didn't lose all of you. At least some, I hope you were able to stay. So what did we do yesterday? We talked about the financial management systems, financial reporting. We got through half of cost allocation, right? We went through the circulars, what it would be under the 2 CFR, the new Omni circular, right? Okay. Then what happened? I said, you know what? I have room in my contract number 1. I'll move 10,000 from contract 3 to contract 1.
Can't do it.
God, I saw Mary shaking her head. I mean, yes, can't do it, right? And I'm going through this slide because something I forgot to mention yesterday. Does it become what? Remember? What becomes of that 10,000 now? Stand-in, right? Now, we said we couldn't move it to contract 1 because you can't change your allocation to accommodate funding deficiencies. Okay, that's a rule. You can't do that. And when you do that, if I'm an auditor, if now I'm auditor for contract 1, and I saw that you overcharged me by 10,000, right? I'm going to disallow it. Contract number 3 comes and sees the same thing. So now they start questioning your cost allocation system. Okay? And if I were you guys, if there's one thing in your financial management system that you don't want auditors to be questioning, is your cost allocation system. You don't want your cost allocation system to lose its integrity, because then what happens? Everything that you're cost allocating gets questioned. Because now you've lost their trust. Oh, you say you have a cost allocation procedure, but you're changing it whenever you don't have money here, there's the problem there, there's a restriction there, I move it there. Now I've just lost trust in your cost allocation. Let me run it for you so I can see what my fair share is.
Here's a question. I get grants. How often can you change your cost allocation?
So and they come and go all the time.
You guys got that?
It's a rolling.
No, I didn't understand what you meant by waiting.
Can you do the training with me side by side with me? Yeah, when I need it. Yes, and he's right. That's exactly the answer. If I understand your question? If I understand your question, Mary, you're allocating based on number of participants, number of enrollments, whatever. Okay, that's your methodology. Now, during the year, that base obviously changes because now your number of participants are increasing. Increasing in one contract and decreasing in another, maybe. Is that okay? Because now the ratio keeps changing. Is that okay? Hold on. Yes, hold on. So is that okay?
Yes.
It's okay, because you're still consistent with your... Look at Mary. I'm like moving around. Okay, I'm sorry. I should stay one. I think she was like walking with me, like going over there.
She's like me, she reads your lips, I'm definitely.
Is it a problem that I move around too much? Tell me now. No, okay, so, okay.
But you're forgetting this part.
Yes, and I just keep forgetting this part, and yeah, I made a note of that last night, that I should not forget about these beautiful people on this side. Yeah. It's only because Mary's on this side. That's the problem.
Very good.
So the answer to that is, if your allocation base is your participant base, which is actually advisable because it's based on what?
How many people you serve?
How many people you serve. It's data you already have. Those numbers will change month to month, okay? That's fine, because you're not changing your methodology. You're not changing your methodology. Now, if you suddenly change that to square footage, because doing so would mean I would be able to charge more here, then now you have an issue. So yeah, that's exactly the answer. And now I'll address the question a bit later. Yeah.
And gives you a little more flexibility.
Okay. As long as it's not too burdensome and it's not based on prior year. Okay. It's got to be based on actual time for the time period that the cost that you're allocating. Cost allocation cannot be based on prior year or budget, because it results from a previous year, and the budget is based on a plan. It's not actual time, and it's not actual effort. Okay?
Yeah.
And like I said yesterday, that's why grantors advise, they encourage the use of expenditure data or participant data to allocate, because it's a real number of your actual work. It represents your actual work, rather than calculating so many bases, different bases for so many transactions. It becomes too burdensome, and that's not how cost allocation should be. It should not take too much time. It's not efficient anymore.
One last point. Monthly is enough to drive you crazy. We do it quarterly. It's monthly, just crazy.
And that's Magdalena's question over here. Do you want to do it monthly or quarterly? But I think quarterly is fine. But you have to be careful. You have a year contract, and for example, based on your cost allocation, you know that the cost will go over a certain budget. You as fiscal folks should be able to warn your program folks or your program monitor, I think I'm going to go over here, I need a budget revision. You don't tell them that when you are the last quarter and you've lost your opportunity to revise your budget. Okay? So if I were, I'll probably do it quarterly the first 6 months, but around the third and fourth, I think I want to, even if it's just for my own, I'll probably do it monthly so I can advise who I'm supposed to advise if there's some changes in my budget. Because when you don't revise your budget and you went over, and then they tell you can't revise your budget anymore, you can't charge, you just lost out. Yes? Talk to your program monitor. And maybe if you explain, they will allow you, because I've seen budget revised after that in certain situations. So it's up to your program monitors. If they allow it, we'll take it. Okay, but again, they have to have that communication. They'll probably have to know, especially if it really impacts the cost allocation, the spread of your cost. I'd rather that the cost you're reporting to my grant is accurate. Because if you don't change it, that means I've just been overcharged. Because another funding source should have taken a share, and it was distributed to me and everyone else. Okay? So, yeah, it should be adjusted. But if it requires a budget revision and you've missed it, please talk to your program monitor. We will take it. From an F&D perspective, I will take it, because that means my cost is going to go down. That's always my bottom line for me. Is my cost going to go down? If it's additional money, no.
Glenn just said, if I understood it correctly,
It will allow you to recover through the use of a what? Indirect cost rate, right? Very good. They are recovered from the grant or program using an indirect cost rate approved by a federal cognizant agency.
We can use direct allocation.
Yes, yeah, if you choose to, yeah. From your federal cognizant agency, some of you have direct grants from the feds, like YPI, right? You have a direct grant. Regents has one. That means has one. Okay, she corrected me. They have thousands of grants from our federal agencies. The city shares just this. El Proyecto, yeah, and ADAP. So that means for those of you with direct grants from the federal cognizant agency, you have to get your approval from them, not from me. Okay? Once you get your approval from them, we will honor that rate. Unless using that rate makes you go over what? Yes, yeah. Depends on what you have in that indirect cost pool, right? And I think, and if you don't have a federal cognizant agency, where do you send it? To whoever, to all your pass-through grantors, and that may be the LA County, a state, or me, okay? That means you have to submit your indirect cost proposal to us instead of the federal agency, because your grant was passed through me. The federal agency will not take it. I don't care if it's WIA. If you're getting them from me, DOL won't take it. Okay? And in the new 2 CFR, I think there are some states who would actually cap it, even if it's an approved federal rate, they actually cap. In the new 2 CFR, the new circular, they are required to follow it. They are required to use it. So, and there's also another relief on indirect costs, which we'll talk about later. If you don't want to go through the, or I shouldn't say ordeal, but the process of dealing with the federal cognizant agency to get a rate, the 2 CFR gives you a little bit of room, and we'll talk about that later. You all know what a written cost allocation plan is. I don't have to talk about that, right? Your written cost allocation plan should talk about how you allocate things. All right? It should talk about your base, some examples, some document, some explanation of how it's cost allocated. Okay? There are 2 types. Your indirect cost plan that you submit either to the feds or to me or your pass-through agency. And then you have the organizational or departmental cap. That means how do you allocate everything, including indirect costs. Okay? That has to be written. The feds say that has to be a written procedure. In fact, we ask for that every time we go to you. Okay? Okay? You guys don't need to break it, do you? 10 o'clock. No, I want to do an exercise.